Mike, they're saying no sound. No sound on YouTube, only on Spreaker.
There we go. All right.
Mike, they're saying no sound. Okay, got it.
Yep, I got it. All right. So we'll try this again. Hello, welcome to Edge of the Rabbit Hole. I clicked the button. I clicked the button, and it just I guess it didn't.
You are just not up to your button clicking.
It's just been one of those freaking days. It has been absolutely one of those freaking days. So, so we are back after a week hiatus. Let me go through the whole thing again. So last week we had to cancel the show because Shana had emergency gallbladder surgery. I got the call Tuesday morning, headed straight out to Illinois. By the time that I got there, maybe an hour later, they were wheeling her out of surgery. So she's still recovering from that, now getting around a lot better. However, she is actually not feeling well tonight because of other reasons, so she is not with us in the chat tonight. We do have, fortunately, our lovely co-host, Vanessa Hogle. Just other crazy shit going on. Because Donna Gordon, one of our Cheshire cats, who would normally be shenanigating the chat in Shauna's stead, had a nasty tumble today and is not going to be able to shenanigate the chat. So we are kind of on our own tonight, which is just God. Maybe it's because of the 13th. I don't know, Vanessa. It's been a crazy ass day.
Hey, just so the viewers know, not only am I doing the little chat thing on my phone, love y'all. I do if I'm doing this, but you're going to see me looking down a lot. I'm going to try my damnedest not to fall asleep on you people because I have been up since 4:30 yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
True story. And I worked all day.
No. So Vanessa hasn't been able to sleep. Yeah.
I'll explain why. This is a perfect show for it.
Yep. And we're going to be talking about mirrors and portals today. So this will be an interesting topic. I was really looking forward to talking about this last week because we had our Inside the Upside Down episode that I thought was going to be a great follow-up to this. We did attempt that. We tried it on YouTube at first. Didn't work out because Shauna's internet connection is just absolutely terrible. So we did a Facebook thing, which still was low quality, and then we ended up uploading it to YouTube. So many of you have gone and actually watched that video. So I do apologize for the poor video quality on that. But we tried to do what we could. And now we're back here live, back to the regular thing, our regular show, even though we have just our support crew just isn't here. And we actually are broadcasting on Spreaker through Beyond the Light Network, which is pretty cool. Also on Periscope, which I should probably bring that up so I can deal with the Periscope chat as well. So, and of course, YouTube, which is our main gig here. So, and if you are new, please subscribe, hit the little bell notification, all of that fantastic stuff.
Everybody is so worried that I haven't had sleep. Believe this, I will be going to bed shortly thereafter the show. I promise. Okay, because damn, I can't do. Because damn. Okay, that's a whole 2 syllables. Damn. But I got to tell you, Mike, I'm just going, you know what? I'm jumping right on in.
Jump right into it. Go for it.
I'm really excited about this particular show. I'm gonna put this down, y'all. Love you, but I'm putting it down. Thomas
And there's Tom
McNicholas,
McNicholas. Yep, $5
love
super chat.
you.
You can't even get
Oh,
started to speak because there's Tom. Thank you, Tom. That's awesome. Really appreciate the $5 super chat.
we do. And let me apologize. I'm not flipping y'all off, but I broke this nail again. Only one I ever break is this one. Okay, so I apologize. Punch drunk right here. Punch drunk. It's really interesting. The reason I haven't slept is I was trying, and the whole mirror thing is kind of just hit me. I don't know if I'm just that out of it, but I was sitting on my couch last night getting ready to get up and go to bed. I mean, I'd been laying down, kind of dozing in and out, and it was coming to the point I'm just either going to lay there and die or I'm going to get up and go to bed when I heard this loud crash in my bathroom. Well, we all know that I am used to all kinds of visitors
Yep.
in my abode, okay? I'm used to
I
all
saw the
kinds.
photos. Yeah.
Yeah, my bathroom is shaped like an L. And it just occurred to me that where this pitcher that I use to rinse out my bathtub when I clean it, this pitcher where I keep it was right in front of a mirror and landed 4.5 feet away, the opposite direction, going in an L shape in front of another mirror.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
It just hit me. It literally just it just landed right here. It just hit me, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I would love if the viewers could lend some insight on that, because my brain's fuzz. But it couldn't have. There's no way for it to do what it did, because it was, like I said, it was sitting in a bucket on the top of my toilet, on the back of my toilet.
Mm-hmm.
The lid was up, so if it was going to fall, it would have fallen in the potty. If it was going to fly, it would have flown into my shower.
Yeah, I saw the pics, and where it ended up just seemed very unnatural. And I do want to say real quick, thank you for those down at Periscope: Tom McNicholas, Linz, Amber, and Brooke. Thank you for hanging out down there. Did you post them elsewhere other than on Facebook or on your Twitter or anything like that? So people go check it out.
I haven't put them on my Twitter just yet, or on Instagram. But because I need to get on Twitter more. I do.
You used to be on there all the time.
I did, but now that I have this cheap ass phone that works great, but it's a cheap ass phone, I don't want it draining my data. And Twitter will drain your data like a motherfucker.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah.
So I keep it just on the computer. But I do need to post them there. And I thought about posting them on Instagram and everything. And I do have to say this. I absolutely love the fact that nobody questioned their authenticity.
Yeah. I thought all your feedback on it was pretty positive, at least from what I saw. Yeah.
I take that as the hugest compliment, because that means I've earned trust.
Yep.
And I appreciate it, and I don't want to let that go unnoticed or unspoken about. I can't thank y'all enough for giving me that gift. So bless you.
And thank you guys for all the hearts down there in Periscope. I see them flying across the screen. And Amber for sharing out the video. That's awesome. Thank you. So, yeah. So, okay. So a bathroom obviously has mirrors to it. And there's a lot of old traditions that go back to mirrors. Like if somebody was, sick on their deathbed, that people would cover up the mirror so that the soul wouldn't get sucked into the mirror. There were traditions about moving mirrors around the house so they wouldn't always stay in one place, which today, a bathroom mirror, that sucker's mounted to the wall. You're not moving it anywhere. So some of our beliefs and traditions either seem to be forgotten over time or have changed or, what have you.
Fascinating when you bring up the moving of the mirrors is it's very similar to a funeral down in New Orleans, jazz funeral. When somebody passes away, they put them in the back of the carriage, and I'm not kidding. It's a carriage, horse-drawn carriage, Their coffins or caskets go back there, and they are literally, trotted all over the French Quarter in all different directions, and this can last hours before they're finally taken to their place of final rest. And it's to confuse the spirits in case they're vampires so that they don't come back and kill their family. So that is very similar to what you're talking about with the mirrors, is constantly moving things around so that a pattern can't be formed or it can't be learned. And I find it interesting because I have a hard time sleeping anyway. We all know that.
Right.
I don't sleep much. And when I do sleep, I don't sleep well. And again, it just occurred to me today in a moment of lucid thought. I didn't have many of them, but in a moment, the best night's sleep I get is when my son is over at his dad's. I'll sleep in his room because he has a TV and I don't in my room.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have any mirrors.
But
he has no mirrors in his room.
Okay, but still, the TV could act as that, because a lot of people do say that the mirror, because it even though it's not a mirror, it has a reflective surface, so therefore that could be. And there's a couple comments here in the chat. So B3 Airspace was saying that they cover the clocks as well. Dawn Spooky Spectacular was saying the Hungarian relatives covered their mirrors when somebody died. And Carrie Parrish, you should never have two mirrors facing each other in the same room. They can open a portal. And yeah, that's definitely a common belief. And I do have an example of that I was going to get into later in the show, but we can hit that.
Do it right now.
Yeah, do it right now. Investigating the Bel Air house, it was a little over a year ago now with Copperhead. And we had gone live during that. Maybe some of you remember that. We were up in what they call the altar room, and we were getting some quite a bit of activity up there, a lot of hits on the different EMF detectors, all that. And we ended up noticing there were two mirrors. One was on the dresser, but the other was a regular mirror kind of resting on the floor. They were facing each other. And so, of course, it made us wonder, okay, with these facing each other, is this why we're getting so much activity here right now?
I'm the one that told you to cover them. Remember?
You were on that one. Yeah, you were.
I'm the one that like, what the hell are they doing having them facing each other?
Yeah, it was just like that. We walked into the room and they were like that and didn't even realize until it was probably you, I guess, that said something.
It's like Spirit 101.
Right.
I don't have any facing each other. It would be prudent of me to say that probably one of the reasons that I have difficulty sleeping in my room is because the mirror that I have in my room, I have two, and one is a very large mirror because it's weird. My bedroom is weird. I've got like a bath and a vanity area, so I have a vanity area in my room that's built in. Mm-hmm. So the mirror is built in. And it's not facing this other mirror, but this other mirror is a scrying mirror. Yeah, it would have been prudent for me to let y'all know that.
Yeah.
So why I might not sleep very well, and yeah, that I might need to cover that.
Yeah.
I might want to do that.
So.
Tammy wants.
You mentioned scrying mirrors, and Tammy wants to talk about that, and a couple other comments above that. So, Candy Orton and Fungi. Sorry, one of those days. Is basically confirming, yes, you put them opposite each other. It opens that up. You just think about you looking through it, you can see infinitely beyond, which is really interesting. Even Tom McNicholas tossing out there Bloody Mary, 3 times in front of a mirror. We have so many of those different traditions. But you want to talk about scrying mirrors real quick? Some people may not know exactly what a scrying mirror actually is.
They're really interesting. It's you can use any polished dark surface. Some people scry in a crystal ball, which doesn't have to be dark. Some people scry in a shiny stone. But the best, what I have found to be the best, is a black mirror. And it really essentially is just a mirror painted black. Mm-hmm. And
but you could use something like obsidian or something like
absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Granted, I think it would have to be a fairly impressive piece of obsidian. in order to be able to, that is what the scrying mirrors or any such surface is used for, is for divination, to be able to look into the past or into the future.
Right.
And it's just something to focus on, generally by candlelight. And that just kind of helps you focus where you need to focus and just kind of let the images come to you. I do keep mine up higher. However, I'm kind of a, not to use Michelle LeBaron's word, I'm kind of a magnet. They're kind of drawn to me. So it's, for me to have one, I don't even have to use it. It just has to be there, you know? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were concerned that what was doing that in my bathroom last night was he who shall not be named. And it's not. That I know. I mean, I know his tricks and I know what he does. This has to do with the upcoming trip. That I know.
Oh, really?
But,
okay.
Yeah, every time, Mike, starting 2 months before the time I leave, shit goes down. And it doesn't stop until I go. Matter of fact, probably the only time I will get good sleep from a month ago to the time I come back from Ireland is on the plane going there.
Okay.
That's just the way of it.
Tammy Heisman is wondering why black or dark for the scrying mirror.
I really think that it just shows the reflective surface better, and it also gives you almost an abyss. If I can sound, a little crazy there for a second, but it's, that saying, if you look long enough into the abyss, eventually the abyss looks back into you.
Right.
It really does fall along those lines, to where you can see more clearly without anything regular or mundane interfering with the vision. So if you're looking at a regular mirror, you're going to see a much more clear vision of yourself than you would anything coming in. It's going to be hard to bypass that. But if it's painted black, you might see somewhat of an image, somewhat of an outline of yourself, even a slight impression. But the visions that you're going to see in that mirror are going to be prominent. So it just allows for clearer vision.
Okay.
In my case, especially with accompanied by candlelight.
Now,
again,
considering like if you're using something like obsidian for your scrying mirror or another shiny black stone, you have a black stone here. So would that also protect you while you're scrying?
It can, but here's the thing. When you're talking about divination of any type, whether that is tarot, pendulum, runes, scrying, Ouija, any of that, you're opening a door, a portal, so to speak. You're opening that, and it's not unlike opening or unlocking the front door to your house. Sure, you've invited certain people over, and you're fairly certain they're going to come. But there's nothing saying that something won't follow them in because that door is unlocked. And so that's why you have to be very, very, very careful. Where the stone, if you're using that, might have protective properties, what you're using it for almost negates that. Okay. It almost negates that. So you shouldn't, if you're going to use like a large flat piece of obsidian, if you have a really pretty polished one, generally it's going to have to be about that big to get a good enough image on it. Don't count on that one to be your protection and your vessel. Have something else with you, on your person, that acts as a protection for you.
Okay.
Just be very careful with it. I mean, we all know I don't practice what I preach. I do all kinds of stupid, crazy shit.
Of course, right? We never practice what we preach.
Yeah, but y'all practice what I preach. Okay?
Shay Carroll was looking for what exactly is scrying?
Divination.
Yeah.
Divination, and like I said, looking into the past and looking into the future. And it's interesting, those who want to look into the past, it doesn't mean it's going to be last week. You might very well get images from another past, another time. Oh, and this is, thank you for bringing that up, hun. Who was that? Who was that did that? What was her name? Shay. Okay.
Shay.
Here's the thing, and this gives you a kind of a really good idea as to what it truly is like. one of the best forms of meditation is imagining yourself and I did this before, where I was laying on a bed and I pictured everything around me, almost inky blackness, almost like an undulating black silk, if you know what I mean. Just that, like you'd see in a movie, but I visualize that. And watching the chakras from 7 to 1 come at me in the numbers in their respective colors. You do that over and over and over again until it puts you in that meditative state. But it's against that backdrop. And I was able to actually witness a past life and a murder of myself. Wow. And I don't think that would have been anywhere near as successful had I tried to do it without that visualization. And so that's what the scrying mirrors in their blackness, or jet, if you can get a large enough piece, yep. Obsidian, onyx, any of those, what they can do for you. I don't have the patience to do it through a crystal ball, because my mind automatically sees the air bubbles in it, and I want to connect the dots.
Right. Okay.
So
now, Zippy Davis is asking, what is it about mirrors that give them kind of powers?
Okay. This is interesting. This is a very good question, actually.
Yeah.
We don't ever see our own faces. We can't see our own faces. We see what the mirrors portray back to us. We can never see ourselves as others do. We don't have that capability, never will. You know, you can try to look at your own nose and you're not going to see it. It's not, everybody try. Everybody try, look at your own nose.
A little bit right there.
You can see a shadow of what you believe is your nose.
That hurt my eyes.
I know, right? I don't know why. The thing is mirrors have that capability, that they are almost magical in and of themselves, because they determine how we see things. You know, you've heard women talk about skinny mirrors. And I can't buy clothes at that store. They've got fat mirrors. You know,
even going into a fun house and they've got all kinds of crazy things. Yeah.
So it is almost a magical experience. The longer you stare into a mirror, the more you see the things around you that you do not notice.
That's almost Harry Potter-ish, the mirror of Erised, which is desire spelled backwards, or desire in mirror form. Where you do begin to see the things around you that you desire. And sometimes we see other people in there, though.
Uh-huh. Yes, we do. And sometimes it's not so fun.
Yeah. So what's going on with that? Because it does seem like just even looking through a mirror that you can, like older mirrors are great for this, because the older ones had a silver backing that gave it that reflective quality. So they were also a conductor of energy as well. So staring in there long enough, you're opening a portal into other worlds and seeing other people in other time frames. So what is it that's going on there? Is it just the reflective surface, or something else is going on there too?
This is a loaded question. This is a loaded question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And there's going to be some perv comments. Y'all keep it clean. I'm going to come in there after you. Right. What is your most personal object in your home? It's your mirror. For everybody. For everybody. It is your most personal object. It is what dictates how you see yourself. So
and how you present yourself to the world when you go out in the morning.
Every last one of us, and all those who passed before us who had access to a reflective surface like that, okay, spend a lot of time in front of it. Whether it's brushing our hair and thinking of the man we're going to marry, or, putting that bow tie on and getting ready to go pick up our future wife for our first date. There's that emotion that is tied to what we would consider such a mundane object, but it is the most used in the home, period. Everybody, for the most part, not 100%, but darn tootin' close, okay, has them in more than one place, generally in multiple rooms. And even if they don't use them, even if they don't pay attention to using them, they'll look at them when they walk past. It's become second nature. You don't even realize it. But every time you do that, every time you especially unconsciously focus your energy on that, you're leaving an imprint.
Yeah. Rebecca Gardner saying is that she gets visions in still water and handheld mirrors.
I'm not surprised.
Candy Orton saying, yeah, it does happen sometimes and not always people. Fran Molino asking, do you think you can get sucked in?
Not in the way.
Not in the physical sense.
Not in the physical sense. Can you in a meditative or dream state? Yes. Absolutely. I know that from experience. In a physical sense, no. Can they act as a vehicle? Yes, but not in the physical sense.
What about, okay, as far as like quote unquote getting sucked in, remember a lot of traditions have covering the mirrors so that your soul doesn't get sucked into there. So again, not physical, but it would be your soul, which I guess would be your physical spirit form.
Well, but it's not physical. It's energy.
It's energy.
Yeah, it's energy.
But energy may have a bit of a mass to it.
It might, but can it be manipulated? You know, those are things that is something that I think is
Don says only on LSD can you get sucked into the mirror.
Well, I have not tried that. I'm all good, you know. I mean, my brain is open enough. I don't think that we need to even go there. I'm not going to do it. But
energy can be manipulated.
It can be manipulated, you know. And we haven't even come close to chipping off the tip of the iceberg as to what lies for us after we pass. We have no idea the level of manipulation or the knowledge that we acquire once we pass. We don't know how all of that works. All we know is that as investigators, as researchers, as psychics, as mediums, as sensitives, that we know there is something out there. And we know that there are particular objects, particular situations that make it easier for us to access what is out there. And mirror is definitely one of them.
Yeah, so Rebecca Gardner is saying it so a soul doesn't get trapped in the human world. Yeah, so the belief there was that, you know, when the soul leaves the body, when you pass away, that it would get trapped in the mirror and stay in the physical world here instead of going up to heaven and passing on into the afterlife. And then Judy Wilson is saying, to this day, my grandmother and, just scrolled up, and sister-in-law cover their mirrors in their bedrooms every night. They both say it keeps spirits from coming through while they sleep, and that would be, mirrors as a portal. What's that?
I need to do that.
You need to do that.
You think I would be doing this? You know, I've only
what about
done
those people that put the mirrors up on their ceilings, like right above the bed?
Oh, chicka wow wow.
But people do that, you know.
True story. Not me, but it's true story. People do that. More power to them. You know, nothing but love for you, brother.
Yeah, Bree Jones is saying I lived in a lot of condos that have closet doors which have mirrors across from a window, and they are spooky. Yeah, because you have that again. You have that reflective surface set up opposite that reflective surface. Even though one is a pass through, it still has a bit of a reflective surface.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And the thing, but it isn't just mirrors that can cause a portal in a home.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it is something as simple as anger. You know, as an extreme amount of anger, whether that anger is coming from this side or is earthbound, whether it is a physical person, a physical living person whose anger or sadness or rage or whatever is so extreme that it literally punches a hole, you know, and draws that energy to them. You know, I mean, it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for portals, for what people believe portals to be in homes that have multiple prepubescent girls.
Yeah.
you know, who are just, just heading into womanhood. Our hormones are a fucking dump truck of shit. I mean, they just are. Let's face it. We're nutcases around that time because the hormones are going crazy. It's not uncommon for a portal to be opened by that type of energy as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be a surface.
Right.
You know.
Ether Shadow has a really good question. She
Uh-huh.
says, I picked up an antique mirror at an auction. What can I do to help seal the mirror? Is there anything I can do?
Not to really seal unless you're willing to practice. Okay?
What do you mean by practice?
Witchcraft.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
So you can't just sage it down, or there's also
There's cleansing, and then there's shielding.
right, ground and
Or
shield, ground and shield.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the movie Dwelling, they just painted it over with black paint and sealed it. But then that defeats the purpose of the mirror.
Exactly. But I mean, I'd sage the hell out of it anyway.
Yeah. Well, anything that would bring into the home like that, from outside. I remember reading one thing, and it was and they were suggesting sage and all that. And they were talking about just even buying a new mirror from Walmart because the mirror could be picking up energy from walking by. You definitely don't want that Walmart energy.
No. No. I mean, no. Just don't do that to yourself. Go to Target.
Get Target energy.
Go to Target and get that energy. Leave the Walmart energy at home, okay? But as far as cleansing the mirror, what I would do if it was me, and this is what I've actually had people do with jewelry pieces and everything else that's worked really well, is that use white sage. For me, it works the best. And make sure that you are completely submerging that item into the smoke of the sage. Mm-hmm. And then once you feel like it's been enough, and I mean, it could take 2 minutes, it could take 20, just depends. But you feel like you've kind of hit every surface, every little speck of it. Then you would take that object, place it on crystals, and put it outside or at least within direct line of moonlight, preferably, or you can even do it on a new moon, and leave it there for 2 weeks.
Okay, interesting.
And let that crystal just kind of pull that negative energy out, or at least stabilize it. I burped. I'm sorry. At least stabilize it. As far as blocking anything coming out of it, that's a binding spell. And call me.
You just got broke up there a little bit. It's a binding spell. And did you say call you?
I said call me.
Okay. All right. So,
yeah, I'm not going to tell you how to do that over YouTube. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, Ether's house says that she had the mirror turned around facing the wall for like a year. So, and Fran is asking what you do with the crystal.
With the crystal's fine. It's self-cleansing, really, because what it's doing is it is pulling any negative energy that is attached to the object into itself, but at the same time is being cleansed and empowered by the atmosphere, by the moon, and you can actually bury this stuff too. You know that. You can put the object on the crystal and bury it, but depending on what the object is, you don't really want to do that. I had somebody do this with rings because of a particular negative energy attached to them, and I wasn't going to have them bury rings because anything could happen. So I actually I had a geode that we had broken into many pieces that acted as a cup.
Okay.
Was able to sage the rings and then place them in the geode.
A comment from the chat, Ava Gellert says, protection oil on an old mirror, and it helped a lot. So I don't know what protection oil that might be.
It just depends. That is actually a really individualized thing. For me, it's dragon's blood. Will always be. That is my go-to oil. I know Shana loves dragon's blood.
Yeah.
So she's going to have to bring me a shitload of it from New Orleans when she comes up. But that's my go-to. For others, it could be lavender. For somebody else, it could be
Yeah, we lost you.
lemongrass. Oh, mother trucker. You got me back now?
You're back.
Okay. For others, I mean, just go to your local esoteric store if you don't have one that calls to you, and simply go through their oils and see which one you feel more drawn to. You can use that along with Florida water or salt water, preferably pink Himalayan or rock salt. And you can use that to clear the borders in your house, keep things out or in, depending on what you're looking for, to anoint the archways or the doorways in your home. Same with windows. So it just depends on what calls to you. And each person is an individual. If someone tells you one won't work, but it calls to you, get what you want.
What about something like salt? Like let's say you have a big framed mirror. And Jen, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. That's fantastic.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, love.
Really do appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have some fantastic Mad Hatters down there in the chat room. So Tom McNicholas and Jen are super chat superstars so far for the evening. Really do appreciate that.
Yeah. So ever.
Yeah. So the question I was asking with salt, let's say you have like a really thick frame on a mirror. Could you like salt the little ledge there in front of the mirror?
You could, but it's not going to stay, not the way that you want it to. So the best thing to do would be to have, I personally prefer some type of natural water source, which if you can't get to it, then spring water from the store, that'll work. And add your salt to it and leave it in the moonlight overnight. And then take it and lightly, because you don't want to warp your wood, just kind of spray around it. Okay, and that does seem to help. That does seem to help. I also wanted to address Tammy here. She says, "What about sage oil, darling? If it works for you, do it."
That's a good question.
Absolutely, it is whatever works for you as an individual. What works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. So this is one of those instances where you listen to your gut. It will lead you where you need to go.
Yeah, and Dawn has in there that she created her own oil and wears it. Patchouli, dragon's blood, and I'm probably going to butcher it, Yangling.
Oh, Lang Lang.
Lang Lang? Silent Wise?
I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I can't do patchouli too much. It really does irritate my sinuses, as does cedarwood, which is another good one. Okay. Yeah, that instant migraine. But yeah, dragon's blood, that's my shit.
Yeah, and Shana really likes that too. So, and Carrie's saying he uses gopher dust. So.
B. Jones has one on here. It says, Vanessa, if someone gives you a protection bracelet, black beads, that has shiny beads, can that harvest negative energy more than repel it? If they're standardized plastic black beads, no. Okay, and generally, if I'm being honest, any black stone that you come across is more of a absorber of negative energy that will keep it away from you. That having been said, thank you, B. Jones.
Bree Jones with $2 Canadian.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Bree. Appreciate that.
Yeah. But it's generally not. They're not going to cause you trouble, but if you are at all concerned, again, same thing what Mike and I are talking about, is a little bit of salt water, not table salt. It needs to be rock or pink Himalayan, preferably. You can also actually add a little bit of charcoal dust, and that will help absorb some of the negative energy if you feel that they are. And you spritz them down, leave them out overnight, and then anoint them with your oil, or preferably 2 weeks, and then anoint it with your oil, and you should be able to wear it. It just depends on what type of vibe you've been getting from it. I always tell people, if somebody gives you jewelry, cleanse it.
Tom McNicholas is asking if bath salts work. I think most of those are kind of artificially fabricated, so I'm thinking not so much.
If they're homemade, as far as cleansing, yes. What's bought in the store, I'm not comfortable with. Now, for anyone who's going to be at our Paracon, Haunted Road Media Paracon, I will have some of this stuff there already made up for you. So if you just come to my table, you can purchase it there, and I won't highway rob you. Okay, because I don't believe in that. It doesn't take much to make, so it's not going to be expensive.
Yeah, and anything that Vanessa doesn't have, I know It's Raining Zen is going to have a lot of that stuff, which is a fantastic shop right there at Mineral Springs. So
absolutely. So it's just you got to find what works for you. And like I said, I'm never going to tell somebody that's not going to work.
Well, and I think sometimes it's trial and error. See if what works and what doesn't.
Oh,
And
snap.
yeah, Patrick Snaggletooth. Hey, $5 Canadian. Hi, Mike and Vanessa. I love watching Hunter of Media. Watching your show helps me get through my chronic lower back pain issues. You know, and Patrick sent like the sweetest letter last year to us. And so thank you very much. Really do appreciate the $5 Canadian. You're fantastic. So yeah. So Patrick, Bree, Jen, Tom, Super Chat Superstars tonight. Really do appreciate it. That's awesome.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Don't make me cry. I'm already sleepy. Okay. I'm amazed. I'm amazed I got the freaking mascara on just for you people. Okay. Let's see here. Now, what else do we got on here, Mike? What's people saying? Because I'm getting
most of the flowers and Estee Lauder stuff. So beat through airspace.
You know what? If it works for you, darling, you have at it.
And Brie is saying, your Canadians love you guys. Yeah, well, we love all you Canadians. It's awesome.
I have a standing invite to come to Canada and investigate a cabin on a lake up there that I get to stay in. So that
I remember you talking about that, yeah.
Probably gonna have to happen. If it can't happen this year because I've got so much going on already, it will probably happen next spring. You know, haven't been to Canada yet. Why the hell not? Let's go.
It's actually been some years. Wow, last time I was in Canada, I think was when I was driving through out of Alaska, because I was stationed in Alaska for 3 years, and then drove through to get back here to what they call the lower 48. But I've been there a number of times. Of course, Niagara Falls, yeah, but Toronto, and then it was one of the national parks up there. We'd gone up through Michigan, through Sault Ste. Marie, and up into Canada, past all that above Michigan, and I forget which national park it was. It was absolutely beautiful. There's some fantastic, beautiful country up in Canada.
Yeah,
you want to know where I want to get up in Canada?
Huh?
You want to know where I want to get up in Canada?
Where?
In Oak Island.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
No, seriously, I watched that show.
That's cool.
Yeah, I watched it.
I got to catch up now. I missed last week because everything going on with Shana.
Well, I'll need to go back and see because I watched up to everything they had on Netflix. So I need to.
Well, yeah, they got the new season going on right now. They're in the middle of the season. It's actually toward the end, but yeah.
So yeah, as soon as that's on Netflix, I'll be watching it because I mean, I got nothing but love for them, but they don't have the whole story.
Well, and it's funny because they keep getting fed all these different stories from all kinds of people, and kind of, and that's something I actually really enjoy about the show is like they do introduce a lot of different history, even though they have like all different kinds of crazy ideas and what, just all kinds of different theories that are going on about what may be in there. It's interesting because you can tell that just from the artifacts that they have dug up, I mean, it's been visited by people for hundreds and hundreds of years from all different time frames. So, I mean, that in itself, just the history behind it, whether or not they actually find gold or whatever, just the history behind it is a treasure.
What I keep hearing every time I would watch that show, this is no joke, and it's a man's voice saying it, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And they're looking for treasure, and they're looking for the wrong treasure. They're looking at treasure the wrong way.
Yeah.
And
Shay has
it's actually.
Go ahead, just real quick.
No, I'm good. Good. I'm trying not to sneeze.
Okay. Spreaker. Shay Carroll's monitoring our chat out on Spreaker, which is through Beyond the Light Network. From Jen out there, what's a super chat? So yeah, those out on Spreaker, and I'm probably those in Periscope. Periscope you can see, Spreaker you can't. So what that is here on YouTube, our primary broadcast is through YouTube. We also broadcast out to Periscope, and just this week is our first time I'll be on the Light Network on Spreaker. And so what that is a donation through YouTube it makes a nice big colorful border on the chat room within YouTube, and it's a donation feature for Haunted Road Media. So it's very, very cool stuff. And there is BD Flint. $2 from BD Flint. Thank you very much. Since we're talking about it.
Hey, Zippy Davis just said that he just got done watching a movie called The Ritual. Brother, I saw that. Mike, have you seen it?
The Ritual,
it's on Netflix.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'm not going to fuck it up for you. It's totally good.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
Okay, you got to do it.
So, Corinna Jenkins says, can an individual become a portal themselves and a spiritual awakening intensify that experience? And if so, what impact would that have on existing portals, such as through mirrors? Wow, that's an interesting question.
That's a brilliant question. Okay, that is a brilliant question. And I'm going to give you the only answer I have. Okay, for me, it is almost as if I become a portal when I channel, because I never know what is going to come through. Is it something that can affect others? Yes. Okay. For those, and we have a lot of new people in here, Mike. I'm gonna recount what happened in the living room at that house in Virginia.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is a real quick story. And again, do as I say, not as I do, please. It's dangerous.
There's that.
I was allowing myself to be open in a way I shouldn't when I was in this private residence investigating in Virginia. I flew out there because there were children involved and they needed help. And so I opened myself up and was allowing the conversation and the actions to come through me. And I thought everything was going fine. And the next thing I know, I'm on the floor with Gwen Clapper from BPI over me with her hands on my head, and everybody is standing around me. And I don't have a memory of it. And I'm very thankful for that. But what they said, and this is 6 different witnesses, they said that everything was going fine pretty much. And I have all this, interaction and telling them where everything is. And there's videos on that part of it. But when we went to take a break, they said I ended up on the floor screaming at the top of my lungs, screaming. And I was holding my hands over my face, my ears and my face. And Gwen had a good forethought enough to send Alyssa, her daughter, out to the car to get what is called a witch's stone that I brought her back from Castleton, England. And she was holding that onto my head when she finally was able to pry my hands away from my eyes, and she said that they were changing colors. Now, I have green eyes. Sometimes they go blue, but see, they're green, right? There's green eyes.
Green right now, yeah.
Yeah, they were yellow and red.
Yeah,
so there's no rhyme or reason for that. There is no physiological reason for that to happen to me. Just like there was no reason later on that night for my head to be laying on my back. Yeah. So, and all of it has many, many witnesses. So it's, in a sense, when you channel to that degree, you become a portal because I'm no longer me when that happens. Something else is me, and I am somewhere far, far, far away.
Yeah. Yeah, you're from the different you just read your books, from the different experiences you've described when that's happened. Yeah, it seems like you were completely somewhere else, and something. And there's the video from BPI of you at Moundsville that you finally get a glimpse of you just in that zone, in that trance, whatever it is. We do have a question here that Shay has posted from Spreaker. Spreaker question: can portals appear anywhere? And I believe they can, but they can be stronger in certain places, like the crossing of ley lines. A portal would definitely be a lot stronger there. And we discovered, if you've seen the episode "The Haunted Monster in the Closet" that I was in, we had discovered that that house there does have a ley line crossing, which ended up making a lot of sense why there was so much intense activity there, and they were getting so much just the activity, the types of entities that they were getting. So it did seem like the focus of the show was on the primary, the guy with the red eyes in the closet and all that, but they were getting other activity there as well, a lot of different shadow people and what have you. And so it was seeming that there was a portal there where spirits are going in and out, and they were seeing a lot of that activity.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, it's. I mean, I agree that they can be anywhere, but just like you said, with ley lines, with
mhm.
excessive amounts of limestone.
Yep.
For
Oh
me,
yeah, the whole area there. We've talked about it before, where Shauna grew up, Campsville, right there along the river. You have the limestone bluffs, and that whole strip there. There was the Goldenrod, unfortunately, which is gone, which was extremely haunted. The cafe that Shauna's had so many experiences at was haunted. The inn that's there, a number of the different houses. That whole little strip there is just like crazy haunted between the limestone and the water. So
oh
yeah,
yeah, water. Yeah, water's a huge thing. And that's something that a lot of people don't really think about, is that water's a carrier of energy. It's a
yeah.
generator of energy. So I mean, you can really get a lot of evidence in or around water. The other thing, like I said before, is any place that has a very heavy emotional stamp on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean now, but here's the thing. Let's verify. It doesn't mean that the portal is always there. It just
Well, they
means
can
it's
come and go. It's just
open.
I guess that's the caveat. Portals don't always persist in a location. They can appear wherever. It's just more likely to appear in those places that have more intense energy going on.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And they can close as quick as they open.
Yeah. Yeah. They could be there for a couple seconds. They could be there for a couple years.
Exactly. And it's just you just kind of never know. And I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care. Y'all know how I roll. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit or blow smoke up somebody's ass for nobody. If somebody tells you that they know where every single one of them is and they know how to close every last damn one,
Oh.
away, walk
Yep.
away. I'm not going to blow that smoke up your ass. I hope nobody else does either.
We have another Spreaker question. Thank you, Shay, for taking those. Would a human portal be a ghost magnet? So I guess the question is Michelle LeBaron a portal?
Yeah, I mean, they're drawn to Michelle like they're drawn to me, like they're drawn to Lori Johnson, like they're drawn to Gwen Clapper.
Yeah.
I mean, there's quite a few, but here's the thing again, and Mike, you know how weird I am on this. I've got to
Hmm.
state this: we ain't special.
Oh,
Every last
we're
one of us.
not?
Oh, I hate
Man,
I
nah, man,
burst.
I'm just gonna. I'm done. Okay.
I hate to burst people's bubble. I truly do, but we're not special. Anybody has this capability if you learn to listen to yourself.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not special. Ain't nothing special about me. I just don't deny doing this anymore. That's all.
That's all.
So, yeah, because I don't care. I don't care if people think I'm bullshit or what. I don't give a fuck. They don't pay my rent.
Sure
So
enough.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I think I hit my cursing quota for the day. I've been real good.
you did. Fuck. Fuck.
I know. Holy
Uh,
fuck, Batman. Sorry.
and like Candy says in there, everybody is capable. Yeah. You know, I,
Absolute.
I think everybody has something to one degree or another. Even me. And I never try to and I never try to say that I have anything in particular, because I think one of the things, and it drives me nuts, that there are people out there that try to make out that they have more than what they currently have. And sure, I believe that you can, develop your abilities and make them stronger. But there are people out there that, have a little bit of something going on, but they are pretending that they're way the heck up here. And so I never try to portray myself as having much of anything. But yeah, sure, I've got a little bit of something going on. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that next show on dreams on Inside the Upside Down.
Let me let y'all in on a little secret, okay? Person who claims they have the most generally has the least.
Yeah.
So, true story. So think about that, like I said, when we're talking about, a lot of people in the chat have had wonderful questions and insightful questions.
The chat questions tonight have been fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. So this is not a bunch who is, just sitting there coming up with, with shit on the fly. These are well thought out, concise, incisive questions.
Yes, you Mad Hatters are awesome.
Absolutely. They know what to look for. They know what to believe and what not to believe. They know to listen to themselves. So if they come across any of these particular situations, they're better armed to handle it and don't have to go to someone, who may or may not be able to help them or might actually lead them astray. And that scares me, because we all got mirrors in our house. Y'all know what I mean.
we know. And Rebecca Gardner says, the ones that claim to be mediums but don't seem to hit on the important information, when us peons prove them wrong. Yeah, exactly.
I need a peon.
Here's another Spreaker question from Jen. Can portals jump with our device or mirror? I guess, can they move or jump around with a device or mirror?
Well, I wouldn't see why not, because it isn't what we would consider a physical thing. It's not like a wooden door into a room. It's something that is not really completely visible to the eye. Sometimes you can get the little whirly things like in the basement of Mineral Springs. Sometimes you can get the little shimmer, the little where it looks like the oil on the highway in the sunlight. Sometimes you'll see that in a room and you'll kind of know what you're dealing with. Sometimes it's in a mirror, whatnot. I can't say they can or can't jump around, but I do believe it's possible.
This is a interesting question. I like this from Dawn. Spooky Spectacular. Question: do you think shows like this can be portals inviting in energies being talked about? Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, and I think about it, with, we've talked about it like at cemeteries where, I don't think spirits are necessarily hanging out at a cemetery, because people are like, well, why would a spirit be there at the cemetery? It's like, I think what happens a lot of times when we go to a cemetery, we're reading headstones, maybe we're going to visit a loved one and we're talking about them, and they come along somehow, whatever vibration in the universe goes out to them saying, hey, somebody's talking about you and come visit. So I think the same thing sure can happen with shows like this, where we're talking about a lot of these different things, and there's somebody out there that's like, hey, that's interesting, I'm gonna go check that out.
Well, I remote view for teams in England, so who they were trying to contact with is talking to me. I am 6 hours behind them and many, many, many miles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not an issue. Travel, it's not like hopping on the highway. It's totally different. There is a question on here that I actually really want to address. Okay. This is from Snaggletooth, okay?
All right.
I have a question. Why do adults tell their kids not to believe in ghosts? And I cannot tell you how happy I am that you asked that.
That's a good question.
Okay. I've been this way my whole life. And I at the age of 13, I decided that I was tired of being the freak. So I pushed everything aside. Y'all buy my books, you'll hear the whole story. But I pushed everything aside, and I lived in my own little prison until I had my son when I was in my 30s. Now, for those who don't know, I've lost 6 babies.
All right.
My son is my only living child, and he was the last one. Interestingly enough, going back in the math, we have pretty much confirmed that my son was a triplet. And the twins that I lost on my 30th birthday were my son's twins. Because I went back and did the math, and from the date that we believe conception was to the date I gave birth to my son was 35 weeks.
Wow.
And they said that I was 38. So, and he was almost 8 pounds and 22 and a half inches long. So yeah, no, it wasn't 35 weeks. He'd have been a big fucker.
Right.
But up until he turned about 1.5, I still kept it all in. I ignored any of the signs that I still had any type of gifts until my son started showing me that he did. And I was not going to let him grow up the way that I did. Even though this runs in our family on both sides, I did not want my child believing that he was a freak.
Right.
So, yeah, the reason that people do that is because admitting that there is something after we pass blows a lot of people's religious views out of the water. And that's very uncomfortable for them, and I will not judge. I will not judge. But when you have to face your own mortality, when you know something exists after death, and you have seen it, and you've spoken to it, and it's touched you, you don't want that for your kid. Except I said I'm not going to do that to him.
Yeah, so it's a protective measure. You know, parents think that they are protecting their children by telling them that there's no such things as ghosts, because they don't want them to be scared when they're going to bed at night. You know, some children have a hard enough time going to sleep already, and you know they're looking at the closet and they're thinking they're seeing something in there, and so the parents come in, no, there's nothing going on, there's no such things as ghosts, there's no such things as monsters, you know, et cetera, because you know they want their child to feel safe and relax and go to sleep or whatever it was. It's a protective thing. So,
well, the thing is, I mean, I promised myself when I had my son I would never lie to him.
Right.
So when he asked me, I'm not lying to my kid.
Yeah. And we have a comment off of Periscope from Lights Camera Timmer. My parents won't hear it even though their past loved ones are close. Kind of sad. That is kind of sad.
But don't hold it against them. Okay? Everybody has their own level of comfort. And as much as I want everybody to be okay with mine, and my family isn't, y'all. I don't think y'all understand that. Not everybody in my family supports what I do.
Oh.
By any stretch.
Talk to my sister.
Yeah. Going so far as to never having read any of my books, never purchased any of my books, don't speak about it in public. You know, as much as I would love for people to respect what I do and my viewpoints on it, I'm not going to disrespect theirs. You know, when people ask me that age-old question of how can you believe in this stuff, I have a very simple answer, and you feel free to use it. I don't have the same option that you do. I don't have a choice.
Right. Yeah, it is absolutely a part of your life. So you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is me. As good as it's gonna get. Take it or fucking leave it. I don't really care.
Yeah. So we are past our hour, if you can believe that.
I know, right?
I know. It always flies by. So, so we really do appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. Don't go anywhere because there's no way it's going to be 10:45 tonight because it's already past 10:30. But as close as I can get it before 11 o'clock, we'll be cranking up Inside the Upside Down. We're going to be talking about the dream world, which will be very interesting. I know we're supposed to be doing Gonsfeld experiment tonight on Inside the Upside Down, but Shana is not feeling well. And so, and she's the one that's actually done a Gonsfeld experiment. So she absolutely has to be there during the show. So I just kind of quickly switched it up. Okay, we'll talk about dreams. So that is happening on Inside the Upside Down. Directly after the show, I just have to switch out lighting and get artwork put up and all that stuff. So that is coming up. For those of you that are new to the YouTube channel, the Haunted Road Media YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe and click that little bell notification so that you can be updated on everything going on. I do want to we're going to do shout outs here real quick. I do want to thank our super chat superstars. There's a whole list of them tonight. So We have Tom McNicholas, Jen, Bree Jones, Snaggletooth, and BD Flint. So thank you all for the super chats tonight. It's absolutely fantastic. So, all right. I'm already losing my voice. I have a whole nother show to do.
I know.
Good.
I am so gonna die.
Yeah, and people are saying, Mike, tell Shauna I say for her to feel better soon. Well, definitely, absolutely. So, and Fran Molino is back in the chat here tonight. She was gone for a little while, so she was saying she missed us, which is awesome. So, let's get into the the shout outs. And also, Donna, I know Donna Gorton is watching. She just couldn't really participate tonight. So thank you, Donna, and I hope you do feel better too. Bridget Willis, thank you. Beyond the Light Network, which is Chuck Banks, thank you very much for, and I know you kind of jerry-rigged the Spreaker tonight. So Shay Carroll, thank you very much for taking the Spreaker questions. Down there in Periscope, Lights, Camera, Tamara, thank you. And I know there are others down there in Periscope as well. Thank you very much for watching. So Justin Spurrier, I know Tom McNicholas is down there. Linz was in there earlier. So a bunch of people. Really appreciate that. Paranormal Fan 11, thank you very much. Corinna Jenkins, thank you as well. Tammy Heitzman, I really hope something can work out so you're at the event in June. Oh, for those of you that are new, we do have a Haunted Road Media Paracon, June 9th, Alton, Illinois, Mineral Springs Hotel. Awesome. Check out our Facebook page, Haunted Road Media, for all the details on that. It's going to be a great time. So we're all going to be there. We got, Rob Guttrell's coming out, whole Lee Ehrlich, Chuck Banks is going to be there. Coyote Chris Sutton. Yes, Vanessa, I said we were. So, yeah. Candy Orton, thank you very much. BD Flint, thank you for the super chat. Andrew Cox, thank you as always. Settle DP is saying, I watch but never talk. But, well, thank you for talking tonight. Really appreciate that. Rebecca Gardner says, I wish I could be there. Too far for her in PA. Yeah, that's too bad. We'd love to have you out there. Dawn Spooky Spectacular, thank you very much. Shay Carroll says, Mike, getting close Spreaker fans. Dwayne, Chuck, Jen, Candy, Cetus, Luna, Candy, Joanna, I'm sorry, and Luna. Thank you. That's awesome. Tom McNicholas, B3 Aerospace. So Tom, B3 Aerospace, and Grizz are our deep down the rabbit hole Patreon patrons. So that's awesome. And there's others, Jen, Woody, not Woody, Zippy. You guys both got the Y's. Are also Patreon patrons. So that's awesome. Patreon.com/HauntedRoadMedia. Pamela Rainey, I really respect your shows. Thank you very much. So Snaggletooth 75, that's Patrick up there in Canada. Thank you. Lee M. Earl, thank you very much. Shauna, I love how you guys take hours to get the next date. It takes us to UK at the same time. Yeah, it's a long drive.
It was faster for me to get from Sheffield, England to Edinburgh, Scotland than it is to get to my mama's house in Missouri.
That's crazy.
True.
That is crazy. Diane Hilberg, great show. Mike and Vanessa, thank you. Man, we had a lot of people in tonight. It's fantastic. So who else? Charmy Charms, thank you very much. Fungi, thank you as always. Yep. Ava Gellert, thank you. Super Heart from Justin Spurrier down in Periscope. Thank you very much, Justin. Appreciate that. Who else do we have in? So I got BD, I got Candy, Fran, we got Linz White. Thank you. I think I got you earlier. Ether Shadow, as always. Thank you very much. Jen, we got your Paranormal Fan 11. We got Corinna. Who else do we have in here? There's a lot of you guys. If we miss any of you, we really do apologize for that. Katie Palmer, thank you very much. Joe Chandler. Luda Fan G. All right, awesome. Thank you. So,
wow. Fungi says, is my name not funny? Darling,
it's tired. Hilarious.
I love it. I love your name.
Bridget Willis. Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah, we love Fungi. Bree Jones, of course. Anybody else? I mean, I know there's a lot. So, Psychic Jen B. And I think I'm going to end it there because I'm scrolling way up now. So, awesome. So it's been one of those days. It has absolutely been one of those crazy days. So
I've been up 30 hours.
you need to get some rest. You need to get some rest. Shauna's resting right now. Um, Donna's taking it easy, and I don't know. I actually crashed for a few minutes by accident earlier tonight because I'm just wiped.
Oh,
Um,
jelly.
Estella Castle, thank you. And Beyond the Light Network, yeah, I think we got you, Chuck. Okay, so that's going to be it for this show. Stay tuned. Inside the Upside Down coming up here next. You might have to refresh that feed somewhere in there just to kind of kickstart on YouTube. Periscope, it'll let you know when we go live again. And I guess I think we're only doing Edge of the Rabbit Hole on Spreaker right now. So, all right. You guys have a great night. Thanks for hanging out here on Edge of the Rabbit Hole. Till next time.